You know, in most sales movies, we always close the sale, make a lot of money, and live happily ever after. But it really isn't that easy. The prospect never says what he's supposed to, and what takes a minute on the screen sometimes takes hours in an actual sale. As we all know, it takes a lot of hard work and intelligent conversation to close a deal. But these figure-it-out folders have some ideas that can really help us in situations that we're now facing every day. All right? Here's the first one.
No, I'm going to get a lower price car.
Yes, money's a real problem, isn't it? But let's sit down over here and figure this out. I think I can show you how you're actually dollars and cents ahead when you buy a Buick. Sit down. For example, you like the quality and style, inside and out, of a Buick, don't you, Mr. Moran? How much do you figure that extra luxury is worth?
What do you mean?
Well, I noticed you like the distinctive styling, front, side, and rear, the instrument panel, the rich upholstery. That's right, isn't it?
Yes, I guess so.
Well, would you say that's worth $10, $25, or $50 more than what you get in a lower price car?
Oh, I don't know. 10 anyway.
$10. Now, how about that smooth new variable pitch Dynaflow transmission? You said you liked it. Wouldn't you say that's worth more than an ordinary transmission?
I guess so.
Sure. Well, how much more?
Oh, some. Maybe $20.
$20 for Dynaflow. Now, Buick has almost 30 horsepower more than that other car. How much more is that worth to you?
About the same, I guess.
$20 for Buick's greater power? Well, on the road, it's worth all of that and more, but let's be conservative. Let's put down 15. You remember how much smoother Buick rides? Coil springs on all four wheels is one reason. Now, wouldn't you say that Buick's $1 million ride is worth at least $25?
Fair enough.
Okay. Now, we've just looked at figures that prove Buick's higher trade-in value, Mr. Moran. Depending on age and condition, used Buicks sell for $50 to $200 more than low-priced cars. But let's be conservative. How about $50?
50? Okay.
Now, we haven't even taken into consideration Buick's bigger size, your pride of ownership, and a dozen other plus values. But let's just add up what we have here and see what we get. They amount to $120. Now, Mr. Moran, we agree that these extra values are worth at least $120. But let's knock it down to, say, $100. Okay?
Sure. All right.
Now, here's the difference between what you pay for that other car and the Buick. But when you look at this actual difference, after deducting the $100 and then spread it out over, say, 2 years, well, it isn't much more than the price of a pack of cigarettes a week. Wouldn't you say it's worth that to be a Buick owner? You see what I mean? By adding up just the Buick benefits that your prospect sets a value on, we've got a lot easier job of selling what's left of the price difference. Sounds easy, doesn't it? But don't forget, a great part of the successful use of this folder depends on how you handle your prospect. Part depends on what he thinks of your sincerity. And a big part depends upon your ability just to get him to sit down and talk to you. Then this folder gives us another angle. So now, let's see how to subtract the disadvantages that result from not buying Buick quality.
Yes, but I like the automatic drive on that other make.
It's a good system, but have you tried the new Dynaflow?
No.
Say, have you got a minute? I'll buy you a cup of coffee if you'll drive my car.
Well, okay.
Yes, Mr. Bondon, now that you've tried the new Dynaflow, you can see that when you buy a Buick, you can subtract the annoyance of that jerky upshifting and downshifting that you get with other transmissions.
Buick is smooth, all right. But those other fellas offered me a better deal.
But is it a better deal? Could you be as well satisfied without Dynaflow's smoothness? Don't you think that other car should be cheaper when it lacks a valuable feature?
I don't know. What are you up to?
Well, frankly, I want to see if we can put your preference for Buick into dollars and cents. Now, how much cheaper should a car be that doesn't have variable pitch Dynaflow? Would you say $10, $20, or $30?
I see. Well, 20, I suppose.
All right. Now, another thing, Mr. Bondon. In driving Buick, did you notice the feeling of having something real solid under you?
Yes.
Well, Buick is more than 300 pounds heavier. That's another value you subtract if you buy that other car. Even if we figure it only 50 cents a pound, that comes to $150. But will you settle for 75? Just half.
Oh, maybe. 50 anyway.
Okay, $50. If you buy that other car, you'll lose almost 30 horsepower. Power you need for get up and go, longer engine life, for hill climbing, safe passing. Can you estimate that, Mr. Bondon?
That I can use. Yes, that's worth something.
Then figuring only $1 a horsepower, does $30 sound right to you?
Well, make it 20.
Okay, 20. Making a total of $90 that you lose by not buying Buick. And of course, we haven't even touched on the dozens of other Buick features that you said you liked. But let's just subtract these from the difference in price, and the actual amount left is, oh, here. See for yourself, Mr. Bondon.
I never thought of it this way.
Yes, by subtracting from the price difference the things a customer loses by not buying Buick, you help him see for himself that the extra price is really lower than he ever thought. But remember, a prospect is never a pushover. The sale doesn't really begin until he says no. Then another way of using our folder is by multiplying the satisfactions that go with owning Buick quality. Here's one way to do it.
No, we can make a better deal than that on our trade-in.
Well, that's fine, Mr. Porter, but how often do you usually trade cars?
No, about every 3 years.
All right, 3 years. That's 36 months. If you buy a Buick now, you can multiply that 36 by 30 days a month. That's 1,080 days you'll feel that special kind of pride that comes with owning a Buick. Multiplication figures in there, too.
What do you mean?
Take the matter of color and fabric design of our upholstery, Mrs. Porter. Now, you've seen the richness of color and the quality weave of the fabric. Well, now, multiply those by Buick's beauty, its extra comfortable roominess, its smooth safety surge acceleration, and its million-dollar ride. And you get a better deal the next time you trade.
The next time?
Yes, Buick has a better trade-in value anytime and every time.
Well, how can I be sure of that?
Just compare the prices of used cars in the classified ads, Mr. Porter. You'll find that where two cars are in about the same condition, Buick's value is always higher. When you buy a Buick, you're not buying just one advantage, you're buying a number of them. Advantages that you'll remember and enjoy long after you've forgotten what you paid. Yes, this times sign reminds us to point out the number of customer satisfactions in a Buick. By figuring the multiple values of Buick quality, we multiply the number of ways of selling the price difference. Now, let's look at a fourth and last situation, where we can sell the price difference by dividing it in terms of years or months or mileage. All right, away we go.
Look, I know what Buicks are. I've driven them. Just tell me the money difference.
I'm glad to, Mr. Allen. Compared to the deal you've been offered on that other car, the Buick you want comes to only $150 more.
What do you mean only? That's a lot.
Well, it seems like a lot, doesn't it? But let's figure it out. Now, you say that you ordinarily drive a car 30 to 40,000 miles before you trade it in.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. But to be conservative, let's just take the lower figure, 30,000. Now, let's divide that $150 by 30,000. That figures out to be just about 5/10 of a cent a mile. Or, to put it another way, let's say you have that car for 3 years. That comes to $50 a year, or 96 cents a week. Now, subtract the greater trade-in value, better performance and quality of a Buick, all factors that you can put your own dollars and cents values on, Mr. Allen. Subtract these from 96 cents a week, and the actual difference in price is probably no more than a few cents more a day. Now, that's certainly a reasonable amount for owning a Buick, wouldn't you say?
Well, since you put it that way, maybe you're right.
Yes, we can figure it out for ourselves and for our prospects by adding the benefits, by subtracting the disadvantages of other cars, by multiplying the values of Buick features, and by dividing the higher cost by length of service. We've got a new twist for selling the price difference in Buick quality. We sell quality in terms of price and owner benefits. Quality that has put Buick up into 3rd place and will help keep us there. Now that we have a new way to sell the extra price, let's prove it to our price-conscious prospects. If they want to talk price and better deals, let's talk price. Let's take them right into the closing room, figure it out with arithmetic, and sell the difference.